Hey, this is Gary Kayye. We're here at ISE 2018. I'm here with Justin Kennington, the president of the SDVoE Alliance. Justin, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Gary. Doing great.
First off, what's the SDVoE Alliance for those people that don't know?
Sure, we're the Software-Defined Video over Ethernet Alliance. The idea is we want to drive standardization in the AV over IP space and not only provide the best, most performant way to transport AV over Ethernet networks, but also to build a platform that new software applications can be built on top of for the future of Pro AV.
Yeah, and in fact, SDVoE is 10 gig Ethernet, which basically means you're doing a lot less compression. I think even your competitors, you go online, look at the videos where they've done comparison, they even say that your quality is better than theirs, and that you can't deny that sending a video down a 10 gig pipe is better than sending it down a 1 gig pipe or an H.264 or whatever. The quality issue is not the issue. In fact, you're doing a side-by-side comparison in your booth between different technologies. So what's the differentiation besides, obviously quality is a big one, but what's another differentiation that you have?
It's really about the ecosystem, right? The SDVoE Alliance, we launched just a year ago at ISE 2017 with 14 members. We're here at the show this week with 32 members. And now that includes guys who build encoders and decoders, but also displays, Ethernet switches, cabling infrastructure, software systems. We even have some integrator members. The idea is here's a group of companies all around this shared belief that AV over IP is our future, that AV over IP can replace the matrix switch from a performance perspective, and that this platform is how we're going to move this industry forward.
Yeah, and so you can get more information at sdvoe.org. Some of those brands that you're talking about that are members are companies like Kramer and Savant, which are big control, historically known as control and switching and routing companies. So you've got that segment of the market. You've got Netgear, who's known for their networking equipment that's launching a up to 96 port SDVoE router, basically, or switch here.
We have that here at the booth.
Yeah, and it's modular even. And then you've got a lot of accessory companies, a company right across from us, for example, Lightware, a lot of accessory companies that build transmitters, receivers, and you got Christie on the projector side. So you do have an infrastructure and an ecosystem already building. When we come back to ISE next year, how many will that number be, and where will we be as far as the future of this market?
I think we'll be over 50 members. We'll be well into the world of AV over IP as how we do things, and SDVoE as that standard.
That just happens at a trade show.
You mentioned a lot of the great members we have. ZV has come from a world outside of signal management and used SDVoE to leverage their way to be a leader in that. You mentioned Christie. They've actually launched at this show their first projector with SDVoE.
Yeah, I just wrote that article up. They wrote SDVoE built it, and that's going to be a big thing, right? Because then you now have a direct input without a receiver that's also compatible with everybody else's transmitters.
That's right. That's right. This is the world we're headed to, where this ecosystem can really drive how Pro AV manages signals in a new way.
Yeah, and to get more information, you should get educated on what the different options are and what SDVoE shows you the differences as far as the compression. I mean, you can't deny if you're doing full 4K 16-bit video with HDR, you're talking about something at almost 40 gigabits of bandwidth. That's to 10 is a 4-to-1 compression, but to go to 1 is a 40-to-1 compression. So either way, you're going to have to do some level of compression, and the difference is what you're trying to shoot for is, for quality-wise, you're trying to shoot for minimum amount of compression, I guess, right?
Look, you're always, in any codec decision, you're always trading off video quality against latency, against bandwidth consumption. And the way we view the world, right, video quality demands are going up, right, as we get to HDR, as we get to 8K. 5 years from now, we're going to need more video quality, not less. Latency demands, requirements aren't changing, right? That's about human perception and how we interact with computers and devices. 5 years from now, what we demand of latency is going to be the same as today. But bandwidth is different. Bandwidth is cheap and getting cheaper, right? 5 years from now, nobody's going to be saying, oh, we really need to stick to 1 gig, right? They're going to be saying, what about 40? What about 100? Of course we have 10 gig. So that's the trade-off we've chosen is, you know what, let's use a little more bandwidth because that's only going to get easier and cheaper, but let's hold ourselves to a very high standard for latency and image quality.
So we actually have all the SDVoE members combined together on our microsite at ISE. If you go to ravepubs.com, click on the ISE link. Of course, we did a special SDVoE edition to educate the industry about what's going on with AV over IP. And there's no denying that AV over IP is the future routing and distribution method and control method for AV signals. So get educated, sdvoe.org. Follow all of the SDVoE members at ravepubs.com. Justin, thank you very much for helping with me today and for explaining this.
Thanks, Gary.
And we're also going to do a video where we show the difference between what they're demoing here, the difference between 10 gig and 1 gig. So stand by, and you can, to find it, all you have to do is put in SDVoE in our video search window.